And a very good evening from here in an unusually pleasant Schiphol, Amsterdam. It is absolutely not chucking it down to crap weather. We are on our way to Singapore, so we'll get ourselves underway. We'll have a 12-hour flight. Where are these guys going? They're just going to, walk in the grass and stuff. That's interesting. Not sure why we spawned over by these big, massive fuel tanks. It's just randomly where I selected for us to depart out. We need to. I was trying to choose somewhere actually that was close to runway 36 left, which is where we're departing from. So we're reasonably close to it. So we'll push back and do our best from there. Bearing in mind the turning circle of this aircraft is horrendous. Should be fun. Right, let's get underway because I'd like to get stuff set up before it gets any darker. So yeah, let's have a look what we got here then, shall we? Although there is a little light switch that's on, sure to see. So where are we? Parking brakes set. Are they set? Yes, they were. Battery switch on. I believe if we come down to instruments, and it's number 1, I think. Or is it number 2? I can't remember. Oh, no, it's not number 1, it's not number 2, it's not number 3. I'll tell you what, it's probably number 7 actually, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. So we need our, let's say check this, battery switch on. There we go, lovely. A master off, there's only down, flat levers up, smooth, that's off, checked. Anti-ice controls can be switched to auto. There we go. Window heating as required. Sure where that is on here actually. Probably already got it. Actually setting IFR clearance, fuel quantity, beacon lighting on. There we go. Seatbelt sign. Got engine start up. Seatbelt sign on. We'll put the APU on. Seatbelt signs on. Oops. There we go. Fuel quantity check, engine throttle idle. Water brakes injected. Takeoff. Yaw dampener on. I think it's the one where we couldn't find the yaw dampener or something, wasn't it? Yeah, I think so. Where is that? Seven passenger. So, press line battery on APU general on. Passenger signs, hydraulics, window back up. Window heat is already on, as you can see. Cargo, fuel pumps. I'll tell you what, we'll get the fuel pumps on. We'll get the APU started. Packs. Can't see what that is because there's a I think it's INOP anyway. Right, so let's set up the FMC. So come back down, programming the FMC. The FMC is already pre-programmed to a degree, so shouldn't have too much to do here. 2, no, 3. Get there in the end, don't we? So anyway, init ref. So position. We are here in Amsterdam. EHAM, Amsterdam. There we are. We'll set our position, and we are going to WSSS. That's right. Performance reserves. Say 10.0 on the reserves fuel there. Cruising altitude is not 41,000 feet. It's going to be 35,000 feet. Const index is not 100. It's going to be 40. There we are. Thrust limits. We'll set that. Yep. Brilliant. Takeoff flaps 5 degrees. There we go. V-speed's already set. So we're departing Amsterdam, runway 36. Yep. And arrival should already be set in ILS-20. Yeah, brilliant. Okay. Awesome. Let's execute everything. Let's go to legs. Let's think if there's anything else I need to set up. Take off. I think we've already done it, haven't we? Yeah, that's already set up. Thrust limits. Yeah, okay. I think we're all good there. Brilliant. Okay. I think there's anything else I need to put into that. It's all programmed in for me. Lovely. Alright, so we've set up the FMC. Let's have a look. We got those on. Those are on. We're pretty much ready then to fuel quantity checked, all to bring your dampener. Right, setting hydraulics are all on, I do believe. Right, 7. Yeah, hydraulics are all on. Everything is all on that needs to be on from what I can see. Just don't want to just in any fuel, that's for sure. We start up clearance request. So yeah, we can pretty much just push back. So yeah, let's think how we're going to do this. We will just do a manual pushback, shall we? Because let's have a look. If we come showcase view, let's have a quick look how we're going to push back from the gate here. Because yeah, we can push directly back and turn to the left. Do we want to do that? Push back and turn to the left. Yeah, it could be beneficial. So, but then if we push so far back, we're just gonna, because that's not perfectly in line with that, as you can see. So we need to sort of push back a little bit and then turn, get the plane pushed round to the. Sorry, we'll use the push back because we want to. Yeah, okay, cool. Right, I know what I'm doing. Let's get back in the cockpit then. Let's call up ATC. Ground services. Skip all ground. God, is pushback not an option? Oh, come on, guys. Seriously, come on, work with me here, guys. Work with me here. Look, power, fuel, ramp, everything but pushback. You know what? Sod it. Do it myself. We'll just have to struggle a bit, I think. That's going to be a bit of a bummer, actually. It's going to be really annoying. Skip all clearance. Ground services. Let's try and review the ground frequencies, just in case. Ramp. Nope, they're not going to help. Thank you, guys. Thanks. No, really. You know, anytime. Yeah, wonderful, brilliant. Right, let's get pushing back then, manually. Or not. Oh, Jesus. I've taken the brakes off. Come on, work with me here. So Shift and P is not pushback anymore. They've changed it. Okay, right, geez, thanks. This could take some time. Right. What the hell are the controls for pushback then? Apologies for this. I'm going to have to look what the control options for pushback are, because they seem to have moved them. Keyboard, pushback, miscellaneous is under miscellaneous. Not really what you want to be seeing when you. Oh, come on, work with me here. Right, all right. Don't tell me anything then. I'll just, you know. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Signed. All essentials. Okay. Flight control surfaces. Oh, look, the menus do work. Or not. Jesus. Toggle pushback. Shift and P. There we go. Shift and P. Toggle pushback. Right. Weird. Ah, there we go. The pushback's woken up. Thank you very much. Right, we're pushing back. Okay, start the engines. If I can figure out how to do that. Engine start. Imagine it's up here. There we go. Oh, I can't hear anything at all. Let me turn the volume up. There we go. Probably help, won't it? Don't know how to make the plane turn left and right, unfortunately, so we may have to go onto the grass a little bit. Not a lot I can do about that. Oh, you've got an Azul plane for company next to us there. Let's get the other start switch. Right, let's stop there. Pop the brakes on again for a minute. Fuel pumps. So we're cruising at 35,000 feet. Let's set that in. 35,000 feet. There we go. Full alarmed. Flight directors on. Let's switch LNAV on. Yes, we'll be climbing at a rate of about that. There we go, 35,000 feet, we're good there. Any lighting I need to switch on should help me see what the hell I'm doing. Can't see any stuff for the lights. Oh, over the side here maybe. There's display heaters, no, it's heat. Ah, there we are. Those on. Brilliant. Right, so we're engaged with that. So APU master knob can come off. So battery is all on and everything, all those are on, all those are on. We'll take the APU off. We'll have the runway, we'll have the navs on, we'll have the logo on, we'll have the runway taxi lights on. Overhead panel, make that a bit brighter. There we go, get some lights on. Master brightness, has turned that up a bit. Okay, so everything looks good up here. We've obviously got to set our flaps, taxi lights. Yeah. So we'll set our flaps. Flap set to 5. Okay, let's figure out where we've got a taxi now. What we need is to zoom in on here a little bit. Come back here. Take the brakes off. And try and turn the plane. Oh, it's behaving itself. Look at that. That's a stroke of luck, isn't it? Beautiful time to be flying out, isn't it? It's weird how occasionally it decides to behave itself, and then at other times it acts like an absolute pain in the backside. I can only thank it for being nice to me. Okay, so we'll take the next left across the runway. Oh, is that here? I can't really tell. Looks like it's not very well lit though, is it? Ash, yes it is. Sure why it's so poorly lit. What happened to our lights? So it's a little bit of a trek over to Singapore. Remember there being a control tower over here? Oh, there is Control Tower West. Must have built a new one. So long since I flew into Schiphol. So what we need to do now is we need to take the left when we can onto the taxiway there. Whoa, that's a bit of a drop, isn't it? Let's hope we can get out the other side. There we go. Think they need to fix that. Good old Microsoft Flight Simulator. Whoa, what's going on with the... this is funky. How many different... I see. Interesting. Right, I guess we follow this little taxiway round to the end here, and then we should be alright. Let's hope there's no massive big dips on our runway. I can live with it on the taxiway. But if there's one on the runway, we're going to find life a bit interesting, aren't we? There we are. I do love sunset departures and sunrise. This time of day, what a treat this is. So we'll be actually arriving sort of mid-afternoon in local time in Singapore. Okay, let's line ourselves up on the runway, ready to depart out. Yeah, folks, looks relatively flat, doesn't it? There we go. Awesome, right, so we just need a few more lights on. Namely these. Strobes can come on, everything else looks good. Okay, so should we go ahead and see what happens? Look at the weather. Oh, there we go, brilliant. Okay, let's go then, shall we? positive speed. Now we're going to experiment using less flaps for landing because we were ballooning about so much last time when we arrived into Schiphol from LA, and I just want to test a theory. Oh god, we're getting pushed around loads here. You can see even on this departure, just getting blown completely off freaking course. Autopilot. There we go. Lights off. Let's see. Off. They go off. Signs off. Beautiful, beautiful departure. Switch over to local parametric. Let's give me that option now. 10. 4, 3, there we go. Right, let's just get a little showcase view. There we are, climbing out of Amsterdam. Oh, that looks beautiful, doesn't it? Look at that, the moon. Sunset there. That's nice. So what I'll do in a minute is we'll jump into the wing view, and then we will speed up time and leave you to enjoy the flight across to Singapore. So here we go. Time accelerate. It hasn't accelerated, has it? Time acceleration. No. Jesus, time. Oh, this is going to be a problem. What is up with my controls tonight? Let's come off of there. Back on. Right, well, I don't have 12 hours to... What is going on? I really don't know what's going on with this. Shift F2. It's like the keyboard's not working at all. It's really weird. Let's just jump back into the cockpit a minute. See what the hell's going on with this. Alright. No. This is weird. Alright, I'm very sorry about this, it's really playing up tonight. Control options, miscellaneous, set sim rate, sim rates. Decrease sim rate, shift F1, increase shift, oh 2, not F2, oh god I'm stupid. Right, that is my own stupid fault. Okay. There we go. Phew. It's been a long day. Anyway, enjoy your flight, folks. I'll see you for landing in Singapore. Ladies and gentlemen, join us back on the flight deck as we are heading towards that's a pretty simplistic straight in approach. We'll just get up some details for our arrival. We're expecting a runway at 20 right here in Singapore, so we'll land vacate to the left. It's a big old airport here in Singapore. It's absolutely massive. Been rated, at least until this year, as I was really reading an article for, I think something like last year, 8 years on Skytrax, I think it is. Singapore's been voted the best airport in the world. Has this year been replaced by Doha Airport, I believe, and Tokyo coming in second place. So as you can see here, we're just about ready to begin our descent. In fact, we'll start our slow descent now. We want to descend down to an altitude of 3,500 feet. So 3,500, and we'll descend at a rate of that for now. So there we have it. Began our descent down into I keep wanting to say any word except for Singapore. It's really annoying. There we go. Let's just have a look at the FMC, see if there's anything we need to set up. Nav radios, we got the ILS in its ref approach. That's the one we want. So landing speed. It says 163 there. It's likely to be a little bit slower than that. We'll plug that in though. So we'll plug in 30. 163, just give ourselves a bit of a reference. We're trying to land a bit slower than that so we don't get so floaty. There we go. How much fuel have we got left on board? That's something else we want to keep a tab on. We have a ton of fuel. Look at that. We have 6, 7, we got loads. No wonder why we got such a high. I'll tell you what, I think I can seriously decrease the amount of fuel I'm carrying. Because it's so not necessary that we have an absolute stack ton of fuel on board. It's almost like we haven't actually burnt any fuel, to be honest. 6, 7, 8, 9, 120. So yeah, we got way more than we need. That's probably why the landing speed in part is so high. So yeah, in future we'll start to try and carry a little bit less. So we continue our descent. Probably just increase that rate of descent down a little bit more. There we go. Now we'll get the camera set up ready to take some nice pictures in camera drone mode. Yeah, pretty much upside down. Where's the plane? There we are. Whoops. So it looks like we got some clear weather up ahead there. So hopefully we'll get some nice views as we come into land. But we can probably put our rate down a little bit more actually. There we go. Let's increase that rate of descent because we're still quite high. We're still at about 30,000 feet. So yeah, we'll get that rate of descent right down. So yeah, Singapore. My first visit. departed late night from Schiphol, and there should be some point in the mid-afternoon local time. We've got a clock on this, have we? Oh, excuse me. Probably should have somewhere. It'd be nice if they made this plane fully functional. It's the sort of plane I really wish PMDG would do. Obviously I want them to do their 737 first, because they use that way more. And I don't know, they'll probably port across their existing one. Oh, obviously you're going to get the 747. I'm not going to argue with that. Might even get it. Whichever they bring first out of their long range planes, whether it be the 777 or the 747, I'll most likely get. It'd be nice to fly the 747. I've never flown a 747. I've travelled on them in real life. First ever plane I flew on was a 747. Yeah, I've never flown one in the sim. Well, I tell a lie, I tried to once, but I couldn't get it to work properly. I think it sort of crashed halfway through the flight. I was doing an LA back to Schiphol, and I wanted to do it as a 747, and yeah, it didn't like it. It's about 80 miles out, so yeah, we're a little bit above where we want to be profile wise. So yeah, Singapore, although it's a relatively small country, it is home to about 5.5 million people. That's quite remarkable when you look at the size of it on the map. How big is Singapore? So just to give you an idea of how big Singapore is. Singapore size versus, let's say, London. Singapore is 339 times smaller than the United Kingdom. It's only 719 square kilometres, making it 0.3% the size of the United Kingdom. Yet, despite that, it has it's not as big as London, yet it still has as many people as it does, densely populated. So there we have it. Down below us is Malaysia, and then at the bottom of Malaysia we have like a little islandy sort of thing, and that, folks, is Singapore. And it's looking like we may get some okay weather, which I'm quite pleased about. Don't know about wind speeds and everything. Actually, let's have a look at the WSSS. If I go on flight radar, Singapore, show general info. So 6 knot winds. It's supposed to be overcast there in reality at the moment. Though looking ahead of me there, it's looking reasonably nice. The Microsoft weather isn't always up to date, let's say. So we're coming up to a point where we should be at 18,000 feet. We're still at 22,000 feet, so we may just nose down a bit more. Let's get that indicated airspeed slowed down as well to 250. There we are. Oh, one of the reasons why it's taken so long to fly over here is when I came to my seat I realised, or could see, we weren't flying at full speed. So that certainly hasn't helped. But nonetheless, we are continuing our descent, and the oh god, what's going on with my scenery down there? 1, it all looks blurry, and 2, it all looks non-photo real as well. Oh god. Well, that's disappointing. Is the big problem with some parts of the world, certainly over in Asia, Africa and stuff, is that the scenery is yeah, it's really blurry. What the hell's going on there? So I'm going to go outside the plane a minute. Look at the ground. Yeah, you can see really poor textures. Yeah, that's disappointing. I'm surprised because I really would have thought Malaysia would have quite good good scenery. That's disappointing. Looks okay in some places, but other places it's just, yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there. What a shame. Anyway, back to the cockpit. Yeah, it's looking awful. As we continue our descent. Local QNH. What did I say local QNH was? Because I need to switch that in a minute. So we continue our descent. Local QNH is 1011. Okay, decision height is going to be ILS. It's going to be 200. No, I've got that set as Barrow. I want that on radio. Radio. Now, why does it say Barrow? I want it on radio. Look, Barrow 200. Radio. Jesus. Fucking painful this is. Hit radio. Well, it's... doesn't want to know. Thanks. Let's slow the plane down with its super duper speed brakes. There we go, look at that. Look at the way those speed brakes slow the plane down. Totally, wholly unrealistic, but helps me get out of jail a bit. There we go, awesome. Armed. So let's see, we're 40 miles out, we are nearly on profile. I can't believe the state of this scenery. It is blurry, it is not sure what's going on there. Disappointing. That's very disappointing actually. Okay, let's ease up that rate of descent. Because otherwise we're going to find ourselves too quick. Super signs, come back on. I'll put all the lights on as well. Bang, 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 bang. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we shall shortly be arriving into why can't I say Singapore? What's wrong with me? I wanted to say Shanghai. We're nowhere near Shanghai. We shall shortly be arriving into Singapore. I just can't get over how bad this scenery looks. It's blurry. It just doesn't. Hell is going on here? I'm just really not sure. It's almost. Man, this is just something not right with this. Where's the? Well, it's just foresty there, in fairness. I really, honestly, we can see the scenery popping as well. It's just not great at all. I honestly would have thought it would have been better. Disappointing. So disappointing. Well, hopefully the city itself will look good. I don't know if Singapore is one of the 20 miles, we're about 20 miles out. God, we seem to be we need to drop speed. I know that, Matt. Let's get ourselves started. Let's get ourselves slowing right down here. There we go. Otherwise, we are going to have fun. EVGA is where, IDVAS is where we need to be. No, sorry, EVGA is where we need to be 3,500 feet. It's 20 miles range. Why are we descending at that rate? Come on. Really? Well, that's not going to help us, really, is it? Yeah, can't descend more. More. Ah, no, it's being I'm sure what's going on with the plane because it's refusing to descend at a rate that I need it to descend. Ah, this plane just annoys me. See that we're descending at a rate of 930, and I definitely need to be descending at a rate of more than that. IPNAC 3,520 miles out. We might be alright. We might be alright. There we are. Now it's increasing our rate of descent. There we go. Okay, we seem to be getting some proper scenery back again now, fortunately. So we'll think about our flaps shortly. It's quite flat here as well, isn't it? Yeah, I was toying with the idea of putting it, because it's obviously a coastal place, putting it on my recommended destinations, but because of the scenery quality at the moment, well, that has improved as we get nearer the destination. I've got reservations about doing that, so I'm going to even if somewhere is great to fly into in real life, I'm not going to put it as a recommendation if the scenery on the simulator looks crap. So that's another criterial factor in the places that I choose. Hence why you probably won't. Oh no, I did put the Marseille in, didn't I? Even though it was on P3D, but with that in mind, I should probably include this place in. It's the same sort of quality scenery. I tell you what, let's shut up and see what the see what it looks like when we arrive. Yeah, I may eat my words. Okay, we're cool. We're down in good time. That's fine. Don't have to worry about that. As we hit EVGA, about the IPNAC is about. So yeah, we'll start on our flaps and shortly as we turn in finals. So folks, this is Singapore we're fast approaching on. Weather looks great, even though in real life it's currently overcast there, so good old Microsoft Flight Simulator's weather has excelled itself once again. Sometimes it can be out a little bit, quite a bit. I'm not going to grumble too much because, you know, the weather does look fantastic, even if it's not entirely accurate. What would I rather have? Fantastic looking weather or accurate weather? To be honest with you, fantastic looking weather. Yeah, don't get me wrong, it's fantastic. And I know some people like to fly into places when there's I don't know, storms of what have you present, but yeah, for me, having the accurate weather. Anyway, let's configure the plane for landing, because I haven't even put the auto brakes set. Here we have switched Q and H. We'll start on the flaps momentarily. Oh, it's quite late. God, it's 9:30. I didn't realise it's going to take this long to do this flight. Bloody hell. Probably. Oh, there is a clock. Look, there it is. Right in front of me. Yeah, 3 and a bit hours by those things. Right, let's start the flaps coming out then. We'll also get the Sky Dolly doing its thing. So we have 5 degree on the flaps. Also the approach speed down to 200 as well. There we go. We will also look at the localizer. Yeah. They have it. Runway 20 is 15 miles out. We say 156 landing speed. I know, 163. Yeah, seems about right. We'll put the approach mode on. And 15. Goes at the airport directly. Hey, yeah, there it is. There's our runway right there. There we are. Just realised I can see it directly ahead of us. So we'll slow to 163. Get some more flap out. Flaps 15. Wind is pretty much straight down our throats. I don't know why everything in the distance is so blurry and not loading in. It's yeah, a bit strange. Yeah, even the airport just looks flat. There's not going on there. Like a really short rendering distance. Anyway, we'll land on this amount of flaps, I think. See how that serves us. So we're on flaps 20, which tells me the landing speed should be 175, but we'll land it on flaps 20 and see how we get on. Just out of interest. Yeah, look what's going on with the city there. You got some... Yeah, the autogen's really not loading in very well, is it? Look at that. What the hell's going on with that? That's really bizarre. It's like it's on like really low settings or something. That's weird. There's something odd going on with this. Anyway, our gear is down. Sure, my scenery distance is a lot higher than this. I'm going to turn it and see if I can get away with turning it up or something. No, I don't want to muck things up. We'll turn the auto throttle off in a minute. So yeah, this is Singapore, folks. It's about to land. Runway 20 right. I must remember to engage the F2 for the speed brake. No, you don't. No floaties today, thank you. We look totally off centre. Try and get that back on aligned. A bit more speed would be good. Come the other way now. There we go. Look, we're floating. Look, we're floating. Look at this. Look at this. This flight on this aircraft's ridiculous. Gee, my God. Full rudder to try and get it back to the middle. That's just ridiculous. What is going on with that scenery over there? Look at that. There's something floating up in the air. Ah, there we go. Got the last slowing down. Anyway, that... God, this plane just floats like you would not believe. And then... Oh, God, it's so floaty. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Singapore. There we are, we'll vacate here, and yeah, we seem to be missing terminal buildings here. That's interesting. As I got the route. Oh God! What the friggin' hell is all this? Oh, we've got quite a few KLM planes parked here. That's nice. Can't park next to this one here. So yeah, there's there's missing scenery and all sorts of stupidness. Okay, we're having that good old problem returning. I'll tell you what, we're just going to park here. That's the plane decides it wants to there we go. We sort of got there in the end. That took a little bit of work. There we are. Right, we have arrived. Hello to Singapore. Let's stop that. Let's put that on and kill those. See what our landing rate is in a minute. Flight time was about 3 hours, 3 hours 10. Let's have a look. Our landing rate was 150. Yeah, I figured it was a pretty soft one. Right, quit that. Okay, let's have a look at our replay. That's a good picture. So yeah, some interesting little scenery glitches. Yeah, not really sure what's going on there, but anyway, here we are in Singapore. City over to our right there. My God, they've actually got some trees. You think one of those people who live here, they wouldn't have had room for trees, but yeah, we managed, despite trying to fly and bring it down as gently as possible, we managed to seriously float this out. You really, I tell you what, the secret to landing this plane is to barely lift the nose at all, and certainly not until you've killed the throttle totally stone dead. So I think if we yeah, you see, I just make the slightest, and then we just really hang it. We go up a little bit, you can see, and then we just drop down nicely actually, and then we just veer off to the side, unfortunately, there once we put the main nose down. But yeah, on the whole, a reasonable landing. And I'll just bring it back. I'll get some nice wing view as we come in. So that brings us to the end of this flight. Realised you had a choice. Thank you very much for choosing this one. See that scenery here. Maybe there is just buildings like that. Wish you a pleasant onward browsing journey. Hope to welcome you back on board again in the very near future. So from here in Singapore, I'll leave you with our arrival onto runway 20 right. So am I going to put Singapore on my recommended destinations? Yeah, you know what, I am, because just because it hasn't rendered very well on my machine doesn't mean it's not going to on yours, because obviously if you've got a super duper NASA powered computer, probably look much better. So yeah, I think, yeah, well, the trouble is I'm going to end up putting everywhere next to water on there, aren't I? So no, you know what, I'm not, because otherwise we will just end up with every place, and it will sort of if you want to disagree with me, feel free to leave a comment in the comments and tell me why you think Singapore should be added to my recommended destinations. I don't know, probably some amazing scenery you can download that really enhance it and make it look 10 times as good. I don't know, but no, I'm going to stick with my gut instinct, which is I'm not going to add it. Sorry, folks. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this flight nonetheless, and look forward to welcoming you back on board again in the very near future. So from here in Singapore, I bid you farewell for now.